Welcome back to the Martin Liedtke channel. Glad you could be here today, guys, for another awesome post. Today, I'm going to be presenting some images of artifacts and treasures from two forgotten civilizations, both of which I hadn't really heard of until this week when I was doing research. These we're going to be looking at first, the Great Yasui, and they are from the Kushan Empire. And you may have heard of the word Kushan Empire, from the 2nd century BC, or what they call BCE now. I don't go with these timescales, but I'm just going what they say. Now, I can see influences right away across the board with all what I'm going to present to you now. This is definitely a fused culture. What you will see is, even in northern India, a definite Phoenician influence, as we will see. And a few other mixed cultures. So yeah, it makes sense that they were Buddhist, because Siddhartha apparently was born just over the border in Tibet, around 5th century, maybe 6th century BC. There's some contentions of when Buddha was actually born. So yeah, this is some of the pictures of the civilization that was there. Now, there's been a few civilizations in its place. As you know, the Indus Valley civilization is quite near. We'll have a look on the maps now, which was wiped off the face of the earth by what they say is a series of catastrophic floods. What they mean by that is the reset and end of the world. But yeah, you can see that they've dug some of these buildings out. So some of them were nomadics in the Kushan, but these built, big forts on tops of hills, overlooking plains, etc., as you can see. And apparently this is from the 2nd century AD. As you can see, it's a Gujarat, and you can see some sort of strange dome, which we're going to be just seen on the second image. Just crazy. So there they are, the Kush and Empire, northern India in the Himalayas, bordering Afghanistan, Tibet, and China in what is today, I'm guessing, Turkmenistan. But it is a large empire. And as you can see, that's the 1st century AD for that map. So it came down into India as well. But the artifacts, now, if you can see here, Bactria, here, this city here, we're going to look at their artifacts shortly. Wow, is all I can say. Cherubinskis. So it's somewhere fused between Phoenicia, like Greek or Roman, classical architecture, Persian, I see, and Indian, and Chinese influence. But what you can see is they are slightly Oriental looking in the face, but still the European Cherubinskis with the wings. Highly unusual, I thought, for that area. And here are some of their artifacts. So, supposed to be thousands of years ago. I don't go with that time scale. I think there's been an added 1,000 years. I think that this was, after the Noah's flood, after the reset. We'll look at some of the evidence for that now. So, yeah, you can see Indian flavor there. But Tibet is just over the border. That makes perfect sense. What beautiful craftsmanship. So they like us to believe that, in far off antiquity, people were just like horse and carts, and not really any technology for their entire existence since biblical times. Well, they had the know-how to do this sort of goldsmithery. Absolutely fantastic. This looks somewhere fused between Christian. It looks like a Christian plate, but indeed you can see that it is Hindu. Well, that is probably Buddhism. Lord Buddha, Siddhartha. Okay. And, this is one of they got deities as well. And this one, well, to me, it looks like Rhiannon. It could be some sort of Minerva. And she's holding the mirror that we see in all the alchemical images for the Phoenicians. Only this is in the Indus Valley region. And Romans, you could call them that, classical peoples. Maybe a little bit Oriental, but definitely the feel of Caesars and Caesars. So pretty good condition, this tapestry, if that's what it is, for 2,000 apparently plus years old. And that is what they look like, apparently. So I'm not seeing any Indian looks really yet. This guy here, maybe, but he looks a bit European, maybe, not with a nose. Hard to say. Interesting hat, but maybe not Indian. So sacred geometry, again, just looking like Christian stuff, but it's not. It's pointing up exactly the same way as the Christian stuff does. So many overlaps I see when I look at these images. They are quite mind-blowing now, I think. And if you haven't really heard of this civilization, that's more Indian flavor. Not really looking like Indian. Gives me the feel of the terracotta army. So yeah, a golden crown and gold leaf type thin gold plate. Absolutely beautiful. So I'm guessing they're the hierarchy. So why am I getting the feeling of Saxon gold or something you might dig up in Britain? It's got the feel of a Sutton Hoo hoard. It has. It's got lazuli. It's got all of the jewels. Some of them are missing, by all accounts. But again, in the background, you have a Cherubanuski that's holding the laurel leaf of control over the heads of these people. And it's holding one of these vegetations that you see the cherubs holding quite often on the back of a dragon. Okay, looks like the Welsh dragon. And there is some idea in where our DNA comes from. Welsh people apparently originated post-Armageddon from the Indus Valley civilization, which makes perfect sense because if you listen to some Indian people, they sound Welsh and they're dark as well. And the Welsh people are short and dark, a little bit Mexican-y, I guess. But definitely, I see a similarity with the people of the Indus. This one's definitely Chinese looking. 2 dragons or maybe even seahorses. Enough jewels. Wow. One can only imagine of the amount of effort gone into making that, and it survived all that time, guys, in the mud. Just mind-blowing. Gold necklaces, gold talks, again, very similar to what you see in the Roman world. So I definitely think there's a classical influence. Look at that. That's gold as well. Just mind-blowing stuff. So I wonder how they managed to make this. Did they just get really thin gold and stamp it out, you know, like a brash rubbing over something else? I don't know how they do it. It's fantastic though. So we have 2 deities there, but they look like they got Roman dress on. So these 2, very, very strong men indeed, maybe giants. And they look a little bit more like we'd expect in the region. And they're lifting a large, large pot in between 2 pillars, classical pillars again. So beautiful plate, what they got. But quite European, I see in Greek influence there, if you call it Greek. Oh, how beautiful. Okay, I don't know what material it is, but it looks like alabaster or something, but wow, how beautiful. So that's a lady Buddha. So they had, they didn't mind having ladies in spiritual powers back in the old days, did they? Being high priestesses and the rest. Okay, now that is definitely giving me the feels of the terracotta army. Would you agree with that? Because that's an anomaly in itself. All them faces different. Look at this. Wow. Well, I'm guessing it's silver. And it survived all that time. So Buddha's doing the bit of the the same position with the one hand closed and the hand up that Jesus does, and Baphomet does too. Interesting that is. What have we got going on the bottom? Serpents, someone riding a serpent. Birds up the top. Just wow. How can it survive so long? Just unbelievable. So coinage. Now, Bactria, it says there, or Bactria, like Bacchus. What else does it say? Et kuha. So what language is even this? Is he on a flying carpet? I think he's on a flying carpet. And he's got flames coming off him, and he's got a trumpet as well, or something here. Definitely flames coming off him. Wow. Whew. Look at that. That's part of a statue that was left from that era. That's what people were dressed like a bit like Aladdin shorts, trousers. Okay, so that is a plate or a porcelain, bit like a cameo, only inverted instead of X. Oh, that's like a trident. No, it's 4 on there. It's got a cross. Is that Christian cross? It is. Okay. So is Christianity spreading into India at this period? Because there is a narrative that Jesus survived the crucifixion. Some say that he went to the Kush region of India. And I'm seeing in a Christian influence. And then got his skates on and came to Wales to end his time here in his mortal body and make babies. So there's loads of descendants of Jesus Christ still existing in the modern day. That is definitely not somebody from India, is it? This looks so Greek. Oh, Phoenician, I should say. Wow, some unbelievable images, more plates, cymatics involved, and well, just sacred geometry they're aware of. This looks like the flower of life around the outside of this plate. Torques, gold torques with dragons on, the same as what they have in Rome and Greece and Troy. They have in that part of the world too. To be worn around the arms. I'm sure it is a Taurus field technology, and around the neck as well. Tor, it's called Tor for a reason. So he has got a feel of the Orientals, but look what he is wearing. It's hard to believe what that would have been like. So jeweled, I don't know, buttons maybe. More coins. Definitely looks Greek, this lettering, doesn't it? I'm getting the feeling of Greek. Doesn't look Indian. And here's that Hercules character with the stubbly baseball bat that you see all over antiquity. Yeah, I've seen him 100 times. This, again, this has got like, it looks Celtic. It looks Nordic. It looks Heilungian. It looks Saxon. But not, you know, it's from India. Unbelievable. It's a belt buckle, I think. A lot of these to do with clothing. I think that is too. Absolutely fantastic, all in gold. Look at the workmanship in the small thread. How are they doing that far off antiquity? Again, with a terracotta figure, survived all that time. Wow. Ho, ho. That's some survival. Seems to be a plug there. I wonder if it pours something in it. Ashes of people. So, yep, here they are. Of the Kushan Empire. Oh my God, look at this. What is this made of? Look at the belts they got. I wouldn't mind a belt like that. Wow, musical. Oh no, they're just the way it's tied in a bowline or a C knot. Clovich. Oh my God, the neck torque as well. And I'm guessing that is a Ibrox or something. Somewhere between India and Persia and Europe. It's just, wow, that one is absolutely beautiful. Look at that. Seems to be been better before in the so-called ancient world for tech and beautiful stuff. This has survived all that time, guys. So they were definitely Caucasian for such a warm place, weren't they? So that is not the feel of Greek. That looks like Venus de Milo. Wow. Even the arms are missing and the head, so you don't get to see what they look like, I bet. There's a moustache. Looks like the Welsh moustache. Oh, what a beautiful carving. Let's have a look at this. Is that the tree that Buddha sat under? He's a giant. He's much bigger than everyone else. He is an actual giant under the tree. Wow. Fabulous. Gold ring. Look at that quality on that. Again, Phoenician, you know, laurel leaf. This language here is looking a little bit more like some sort of Proto-Indian, Hindi. Let's have a look at this. Yeah, breathtaking images. And I must say, look at the clawed feet. Lions. He's much more what I'd expect. Yeah. Big Trouble in Little China look, you know. So she's playing the guitar and they're smiling and they're happy with some tunes. Just check out them earrings. Wow. So I don't think, you know, I think this civilization was highly technological, based on completely different technologies. Absolutely fantastic world that went before us, as you can witness here. This has a Christian feel to it, doesn't it? Okay. So yeah, we're going to go to an earlier point in time. We're going to look at the, after these few images, that's definitely Greek. Oh, the coin. We're going to go to an earlier civilization shortly, but we're going to look at the damage of this area, which is the Indus, part of it is the Indus Valley civilization, which is being wiped off the face of the earth, you know, maybe we're Hittites, etc. But they say a series of consecutive floods, no shit, like Noah's floods. And years ago, I had evidence that there was vitrified forts in Mohenjo-Daro, but AI is not forthcoming and said these photos do not exist, even though I told them that they exist. I said, what about the vitrified forts in Scotland then? Got any pictures of them? There's one near Inverness. And she's like, or it's like AI. Actually, we haven't got any images of that. So I'm like, they just hold him back. Wow. Look at that for a wood carving. It's a Pegasus, guys. It's a winged horse. If it is a horse. Wow. Fantastic stuff. I can't believe they were carving that and it survived all that time. Golden shield. Beautiful quality. I bet you could play that like a handpan. Definitely European looking. A bit of a ginger, I would say. I'm not sure what's happening with the helmet. Looks very modern. And more guitars going on. Playing unbelievable Jimi Hendrix riffs in the ancient world. Opium poppy. And opium poppy and some other stuff. So they're saying, oh, look at the jewels. Probably ruby, is it? Oh my God, wow. Oh yeah, look at this. More with these texts. It's got a serpent. It's carrying something there. It's always with the technology, isn't it? On the gold coinages. And we got some gold block necklaces and beads. Wow. What's on them? They're all carved with some language or sigil or some shapes. I don't know if they have meaning. Probably words, maybe. Wow, look at this. Look into my mind's eye, look and see what you can see. Looks like they've removed something from her mind's eye. Good jaw, big jaw. Haunting, isn't it? Whew, give me shivers. Beautiful Tauruses on the horns of these, whatever, deers. Looks like a bit of lapis lazuli, another jewels. Gold. Again, look at this. So yeah, definitely feeling the Phoenician input here, definitely feeling that classical feeling over Persia, which is practically next door. Alexandra, maybe. But again, with the trident. Wow. You'd look really good in that, ladies. You would look really good in that. If you're going out on an Nefertiti buzz, that's what you need. You look absolutely stunning. Look at this stuff. So he looks a bit like King Henry, King Edward, King George V. He looks just like George V with that moustache and beard. Apo. It's got fire. Just armor. Just super advanced civilization. Look at this they made back then. Just, I bet that's worth a few quid. And a nice little ring with a big face on it. And Buddha. Siddhartha Gautama. Buddha. On Tatsat. Okay. Coins. Let me check these faces out on these. It's like a belt. And Turks on the end. Wow. It's gold though. Don't know what the material is. It wouldn't be leather. It would have perished in all that time. It's not sure. So that's a cheers, I think, with a wine glass. Cheers. I think so. Or spuds. So yeah, they're a little bit suntanned, but they're definitely of Caucasian. And the Phoenician hat, which is the dunce's hat, which is the clown's hat. You see this a lot. So they had these on. Happy hats. A little bit between Chinese and Indian. Strange look. How beautiful. How stunning. Ceremonial ritualistic dagger. Obviously the blade is tarnished, but the gold would never tarnish, nor the jewels. And some of their tech, highly interesting. They got the bell resonation tech going on in one of their museums. This was found apparently from the 2nd century BC, they say. Wow. Don't know who he was. Wow, though. Same guy, I think. I don't know. His arm's missing. He's got a load of mushrooms. Are they mushrooms? They are mushrooms. Wow, sweet. Loving the pantaloons. Not really. Beautiful talks. So yeah, I think that they were more advanced than now. The stuff they were making back then is absolutely fantastic. They had great food. Looks like they're going to a stoning, and they're going to be getting a bag of stones, which is normal back then. People used to watch executions and stuff, guys. If they never had the internet, you know, go and watch a hanging. I can't imagine they did that. They were Buddhist anyway. Look at this. Buddha's a giant, isn't he? Is that a dog head? Yeah, they are. They're dog heads in the background. He's got a stone. You better not chuck that at Buddha. You're going to be in serious trouble. So yeah, let's have a look at the Indus Valley civilization. I've covered it many times in the past because I was interested in Mohenjo-daro, Harappa, etc. Which you can see here. It is melted. I don't care what AI is saying. This place looks like it was in the recent apocalypse, which it was. Massive city complexes wiped off the face of the earth. You can see they came along and did a big dig because the stuff was buried in the mud. And if you Google and say, what happened to Harappa or Mohenjo-daro, they'll say, oh, it got covered in mud because of floods. So it would admit that it was buried in successive layers of mud. You can see the old walls, loads going on underground because they were bugging out, getting down underground. Huge city, still there today, out in the desert. There's their coinage. You can see that in the Indus Valley civilization, it's the same symbols we've seen on them Kushan examples just now. So yeah, these were buildings, guys. So what happened to them? Do you think that's erosion from rain? Yeah, this is being blitzed. Okay, this is at plasma. This is at Noah's flood. This is a building that has been in Armageddon, and it looks like it's been in Armageddon too. So yeah, these complexes are absolutely huge, covering the floor of the Indus Valley, and guessing a lot of them haven't even been excavated. Look at this. Along the banks of the Indus River, very fertile place, lots of food going on. So there would have been tiles here. I wonder what happened to the tiles, washed away maybe. So yeah, that was a building. You can see it still bricked up there. They got bits here, but this thing you see here is not a geological formation. It is an actual melted building, and here they are digging it out, all of it, and late Victorian era, early 20th century. They were doing this, and pyramids or large complexes and pyramids that have fallen in on themselves, as you will see here in the next couple of images. Look at this, all underground. So this would have been all on ground level at some stage. Wow. That's when they were removing the mud. And some of the artifacts of the Indus Valley civilization, I definitely feel a link to Norse, and I feel a link to Celt. This one has got a big bit missing at the top because it got a big dragon came along and took a big chunk with its teeth. It looks like something's bit it. This is a massive Gujarat that you see there, and it's a big, massive bit missing off the top. What about this? That's the technology for flight in the day, guys. I got images of this from China. They call them UFOs. So you just sit on this, yeah, and up it goes. We've got loads of them. Absolutely fantastic. This looks a little bit more like what you'd expect to see Mesopotamia, Mihuru Mazda, and Zoroasterism. Definitely flavour to that. Sure you'll agree. What star is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stars there too. And there it is, all melted. Just wiped off the face of the earth. The Indus Valley civilization, highly advanced, massive circuit board cities. Look at it. Looks star forty around the edges, wouldn't you say? Definitely star 40. Only they wouldn't have been round at that period, apparently, because Mohenjo-daro was far off antiquity, actually. They're saying the civilization we'd be looking at now, the Bactria, is in northern Afghanistan, like Turkmenistan, like I said, and it's 2,400 to 1,700 BC, they say. So 4,500 years ago, all of this stuff was up and running. Like I said, far off antiquity, but a big flood came through here. I got an image that's going to blow your socks off shortly, guys. Look at this. Just melted on top. And that's who was living there. Very wisely, look. So yeah, some of the excavation pictures. You can see it was deep in the mud. And this building has fallen in on itself. Again, it's got that star 40 thing going on. The mud half still on it. Huge complex, one can only imagine. There too, dug out of the mud. A lot of it's still underground in the silt and the mud from Noah's flood. And another pyramid, Gujarat. Fascinating. This building, you may watch Wise Up, he'll tell you all about how this happens, but I think it's a building's falling in on itself there, exposed all the separate rooms, and the external wall still standing after all that time. So here's the great excavation of Mohenjo-daro. Very vast, huge complex. And them walls, can't even imagine. Look at the state of them. Erosion and rain, this is a really arid place, so it's not that. It's not rain damage. Look at that. I bet you could put a spirit level on that. You'd never even have a bump. Look at this. From wow. I wonder where the pillars went. There's a little bit one laying there with the rest. So yeah, look at that in the mud. Perfect. Stonemasonry. They were highly advanced, guys. Some more collapsed pyramids and walls. They don't often talk about pyramids in this region. Looks to be graves there in this Indian city. I don't think that's connected. I think it's just slid in. A cup from the Indus Valley. Got these strange shapes all over it, like little rocket ships. So yeah, I definitely would not drink out of that cup. No way. If it was a boob cup, a jug, I mean, that would be fine. I'd drink out of a jug. 1874 excavations. Sweet. And check this out. No link to Wales whatsoever, is there, guys? Check this out. They are literally using conicals. This is a traditional boat for Wales. This is what we use in the rivers in Wales, is a conical. And they've been using conicals all along, people from the Indus Valley. Which is fascinating because, as I said, we do in Wales too. Look at this. What happened to it? Just blasted with just sonic weapons. Some great war. I think this one is a wrapper. When it was all being dug out. Huge complex, that one too. Look at that. All filled in. Huge complex. Very similar sort of frontage that you get in Petra. Would you agree? And these bits here look like the H blocks that you see in Pumapunku, a world away. Very similar. Look how deep that goes. And there is showing you the mud flood. So there's a city complex, and you can see these lahores that have come out of the mountain here, and they have literally show you the mud flood feeding into the streets. The streets fill up with mud. They feed in this way, look. They feed in this way. That would have been that entire area mud flooded from this one. You don't often see something so conclusive as this, but this is an amazing photograph of the actual mud flood. Mind-blowing. And more collapsed buildings. There looks like to be a great hole there. I don't know exactly what it is. So yeah, let's have a look now at this fantastic, before we go, hope you're enjoying this post so far. I am. Of this unbelievable civilization. Again, this is from the Bronze Age, they're saying, guys. It's northern Afghanistan, Uzbekistan, like I said, on the Oxus River. And apparently 4,500 years ago, they're producing stuff to this quality. Oh my God. So I see, again, even though it's far off antiquity, before Christianity was even thought of, you can see on this buckle an angel, wings again, and lions. just like that Christian theme, and not really looking very Indian. So, don't know. It's just really interesting. Symmetry, 2 lions, looks like. Maybe a baking hearth. This is a winged character with it, well, a bird's head, isn't it? And he's got serpents and massive hands. Oh, he's carrying serpents. So that's one of their godages. Literally, the information on this civilization is so scant because it's so far off. Again, I'm seeing Norse here, like Norse influence with the shape in the middle, aren't you? Again, Celtic as well. That's what they look like. Pitiful eyebrows, so they're really white. Okay, 4,500 years ago in the Indus Valley, they're really white, and they got all the jewels in the world, and they got these clothes. This is supposed to be 4,500 years ago. Wow, supposed to be. This is a ceremonial ritual axe head. So there would be wood coming through here, and it looks to be made of copper. And another belt buckle. So they were wearing stuff like that. But this is one of their winged gods. I can't tell you which one, riding the back of a dragon. That could be Mesoamerica or Mexico. I've seen stuff like that painted on the walls in Santa Fe and in Mexico. This is very Mexican feeling. What it is, I do not know. Maybe a template for spray paint, for tagging. So yeah, they look like that. Really, really weird. And they survived all this time. Look at this cap. I don't know what it's made out of, guys. They're saying it's like older than, twice as old as Jesus. This cap is from the Bronze Age, they say. Excellent quality for such a long time ago, wouldn't you say, guys? Well, the quality is fantastic on all of this. It is much better than anything you see in the modern day, and this is far off antiquity. This is some sort of ceremonial axe head as well, okay, or something to hold it, monkeys on there or whatever. How are they producing this sort of foundry? Amazing. Look at this. American football player. Interesting looking chap. He's got massive shoulders. I don't know what's going on exactly. He may have a power armor. So he may have had robotics. Whoa, look at that. That's copper in it, isn't it? So I think that's a brooch. I think these are brooches. Be worn on the garments of people. Such a weird looking race. And, you know, let's be honest, they never tell us about these. You never see these on the History Channel, any of these civilizations. It's the same old ones, isn't it? So I thought I'd shed some light into forgotten civilizations. That's a camel. Looks like it's a jug camel. Wow. And maybe a scent bottle. I wonder if it smelt of anything from that time. This is like from the Old Testament times. It's craziness. Yeah, quality item. It survived all that time in the mud. Look at this silver barrel, guys. That's a vase. I think that the people in antiquity had cut flowers and vases, same as they do in the modern day. Oh, sure they did. This looks Egyptian. Double-headed lion, eagle head. This bit in the middle, serpents all around. Purple background makes it stand out. What do you think, guys? This is amazing stuff, isn't it? Lord Buddha? Can't be. It was 1600 years before his birth, or more, actually. So he looks like Buddha. He sits like Buddha. They found him in the ground, but he can't be Buddha because he's too old. Repeated religions? I think so. Epoch after epoch, reset after reset, all plays out. Same characters, same archetypes. And look at this. Yeah, do you know these are? They're on Artemis, going to the moon. If that was real, they would literally poo themselves going to the moon. Look at this, though. That is just mind-blowing. What are they doing? I don't know. Look at this for a vase. It's a foot. It's a stork. It's a vase, but that red color. Oh, wow. Ooh, I don't know what it is, but wow. He looks European, and he's sitting on what looks like a flying carpet, but this is an axe head, ceremonial axe head, or ritual axe head. I don't think they were doing sacrifices. He looks European, by the way. I'm getting the feel of Zoroastrianism here. Definitely got the feeling of that. And look at this cat on top. My God. He looks like Alfred Hitchcock, doesn't he? Alfred Hitchcock's Half Hour. Whew, weird. So some of the jewelry with a phoenix on it, shield maybe, and a monkey on a brooch. Don't know what it's made out of. Survival at antiquity. Check this guy. He's got a mini skirt, and he's got massive muscles, and he's got scaly skin and a bit of a hook nose. Where he's from? Whew, don't even know. Look at this. I can't believe it survived all that time anyway. In the ground, it looks just so recent. The last reset before the world got wiped out, Noah's flood, all this stuff's from. That's a jug, camel jug. Oh, I love jugs. Having a sit down, don't know. That's amazing though. Amazing clothes and amazing. Look, this got a bit of the Egyptians about it, wouldn't you say? Definitely Caucasian, but it's near the Caucasus going on for that area. Axe heads again. Copper. Look at that. I know ancient aliens to be saying, oh yeah, this is definitely an alien. Oh yeah, Hindu got wiped out and it was all radioactive and nobody would eat the dogs. The dog skeletons were there because nobody ate them because they were so radioactive from the nuclear war that happened in the Indus Valley civilization, according to mainstream alternative narratives. I don't know what to say about this, except my mind is blown with all of these images, actually. Hope you've enjoyed these today, guys. Sharing treasures of civilization you've probably never heard of, which is just as rich and more rich, I think, than some of the stuff you see coming out of Egypt or Persia, wouldn't you say? It looks like they're going to rip that guy apart from his legs. He's upside down. If you turn it upside down, it'll be the right way up, though. I think that is another ceremonial axe head of types in brass or bronze. There's the Bronze Age. Gold, beetle. Oh my God. So he's got his hands like down and, you know, like he's going to open them. Aren't they unusual looking? Look at the nose, the Phoenician conch. Yeah. That straight nose without the indentation. Mahuna Mazda. This is definitely an influence here. He's got two goats by the horns, and he's got wings, and he's got that same old eagle head. Definitely think that is one of their deities. Could be, like I said, Mahuna Mazda. Uhuru. That one's an unusual one. It's a serpent lady. Oh man. What do you think? Is your head blown? My head's blown. I don't even know what to say, guys. This is from far off antiquity. Like the furthest back we can get stuff. Look at it. It's all mint. How are they doing this? Very suspicious. What's that black stuff? Onyx. Oh. Ebony. It's hard to say, isn't it? Beautiful. Polish is really nice. Again, with the big shoulders and the tiny little heads. They literally look like talking heads with his massive suit. Once in a lifetime. Look at the face on him. Double goats. Pouring water. They're doing stuff. In silver. Beautiful. Look at it, silver. Honestly, these images are absolutely mind-blowing. He's got a monkey on his back. Actually, the monkey's been trained You might put a pair of pants on it to carry stuff. Has he got shoes on? Monkey's got shoes on. No underpants. This is an axe and looks very European. Hello. So let me know what you think in comments. I've got another couple of posts to put up very soon, actually, guys. I've got some amazing content for you all. If you are enjoying this field of far off antiquity, it does shed some light on what they tell us about the past, you know, how advanced it all is and how unbelievable their artifacts and treasures are. One can only imagine how much this stuff cost. Look at the gold hands. And seeing faces of people that apparently lived so long ago. So, Caspian Sea here, okay, and the Caucasus Mountains just off there. Caucasus, Caucasian. This is the origins of where apparently the Caucasians come from. So, Bactria sounds a bit like Tartaria, but Bacchus, Bactria. So I definitely think this is, you know, Bacchusite and Sogdiana. I like that song. Sogdiana. Yeah, so yeah, that's where they were originated. As you can see, Kabul in Afghanistan, so north of Afghanistan, up the Khyber Pass. Yeah, right up the Khyber Pass. And there is one of those ceremonial axe heads again from the ancient civilizations that we covered today in the Indus Valley and northern Afghanistan, the Bactria. And before then, we looked into the Kushan Empire and some of the evidence for Mohenjo-Daro and Harappa. I hope you enjoyed that video today. Make sure to like this video if you did, and please subscribe to my channel. More to come this week. Much love to you all. This has been Faticus Marticus.